just like helping people. Like, I know how hard this sport is. I know that there's not, like, especially when you're coming up, there's not much money in this, and there's not too many people willing to help you. I did not like fighting at the Apex really at all. It was strange. It didn't have the feel of like a normal fight. It was just like a weird experience. You don't really feel it because your adrenaline's pumping so much, but definitely when it's done, when the fight's over, you feel it. But consistency is key. I mean, it's easy to be consistent for a week. It's easy to be consistent for a month, but can you do that for like years? And when you start being able to do that, that's when you're going to see those big gains.
All right, guys, this is Crazy Kev here, and I'm here with the one, the only Mr. Slick Nick. How we doing, my man?
I'm good. Good, man. How are you?
Doing good. I can't complain. And, you got a fight coming up, my man. Talk to us a little bit more about that matchup and what's maybe next for you.
I'm fighting Absolute Combat in, this Saturday. So it's coming up real soon. I'm ready to go. It's been a while since I fought. This is my first fight since, I got cut from the UFC. So it's a big deal for me, get back in there and, get things going how they need to go for me. I need to start racking up some wins again and get to the big shows.
Yeah. No, now speaking of the big shows, I mean, how many more wins do you think it will take till we maybe see you back into the UFC again?
I mean, I think it depends how I look, honestly, out there. If I'm winning decisions that are boring, that could take way longer. So getting finishes is important for me. And, if I get maybe 3-4, I could see me getting the call, but I'll be ready whenever. If I win this fight and I get a call a week later, I'm ready to go.
Yeah, no, I love that energy. Now, when it comes to you getting the call, I mean, is there any guys on who you maybe want to fight if you had the opportunity to maybe pick?
Not really. I mean, I'll be interested in anybody. If UFC calls, I'm taking that call. I don't care who it is.
Yeah, no, I definitely respect that, man. Now, obviously, you fought Payton Talbott on short notice. I mean, what's it like to kind of watch his rise? Did you think he was maybe going to be the star that he's kind of becoming right now?
I mean, I knew when I took that fight. I mean, that one I had 10 weeks. The Arghetto fight was
That's right.
was 5 days or 6 days. But yeah, Talbot, I mean, I knew he was good watching him. I'd watched him fight before that. I watched too much MMA, honestly. I mean, I've watched Fight Pass all the time. So I used to watch the A1 Combat a lot, and I knew he was like their guy. So I had my eye on him for a while just because I saw that he was very talented. So, I'm not surprised he's doing as well as he is. I mean, it kind of sucks for me that I do think, I gave him his, most competitive fight and, I got cut off that. And, he's done what he's done since, he's killed everybody. So, yeah. But like, good on him. It makes me look better that he's doing as well as he's doing, because if I would have lost to somebody who's just getting crushed after that, I mean, kind of shows you're not really at that level.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you, my man. And when it comes to your training camp and stuff, I mean, what are you kind of doing in the gym to get prepared? And how's the weight cut going as well?
Just same stuff I've always been doing. I'm at a really good team. I'm at Valley Flow Striking. Bilal Muhammad is my teammate. He's like our team captain. He's fighting that same day. So that was really helpful because everybody's in tune. Everybody's already kind of locked in on that date. So I got to be a part of that. And so training's been going well. And for the weight cut, this is at 145. So it's much easier for me. Making 135 is a struggle. So 45 is nice for me. It's less stress on my body, and I could be more active when I'm taking some fights at 45. But if I get back to the big shows like I expect, I will be a 35er again. So just enjoy it while I can.
Nice. I like it. Now, obviously, with Bilal being your team captain, like you mentioned, I mean, do you have any cool memories that you could share with Bilal?
Bilal's just a great dude, man. Like when I first went to VFS, I was 2-0 as a professional. Bilal is in the UFC already, a big name. Like, he had no reason to give me any time of day. And a lot of people are like that. Not Bilal. Like, if you ask Bilal a question about this sport, he's going to, like, really think about it and give you, like, his best answer and really try to help you any way he can. So, I just have a lot of respect for Bilal because he is just a great dude, a great teammate. And, that's why everybody at our gym looks up to him, is because he helps all of us. It doesn't matter if you're an amateur or a UFC fighter. He's going to try to help you as much as he can.
Yeah, no, I definitely respect that about Bilal. That's definitely awesome. And when it comes to your gym, what are the vibes like? What kind of music do you guys listen to in your training?
Oh God, our music's terrible. It's awful. It's the biggest downfall of our gym. Yeah, I don't know what we're playing sometimes. Coach has some interesting playlist, but it depends. Sometimes Charlie Racky, he's a UFC fighter. Sometimes he'll take over, and that's much better. But sometimes it's rough.
So what's going on? Your coach is one that's playing the trash music that you're saying?
Yeah, Coach Mike's a great coach, but I don't know. I don't think we have the same music interests.
Fair enough. Now, when it comes to maybe some better music you could play in the gym, I mean, what would you kind of play if you were on the aux?
I mean, I'm more like chill. I'm kind of chilling. I'm trying to Charlie plays like a lot of like Kid Cudi, Mac Miller, stuff like that. Kind of chill vibe.
I like
Kind
it.
of like stuff like that.
Okay, I like that. No, it's definitely some chill vibes for sure. Now, when it comes to the music, I mean, whenever you have some free time, you ever hit any concerts or anything like that?
No, I've actually never been to a concert in my life. Yeah,
Wow.
kind of. Most people have, but yeah, no, never happened for me.
Would you want to, or you're not a big fan of those?
I think it'd be fun. It depends. Not like super interested in doing it, but if somebody like asked me to, I would definitely do it. It'd be fun.
Oh yeah. Is there any like certain people that maybe you'd want to see if you did get the opportunity to go?
I like Kid Cudi a lot, so
Nice.
I would do that for sure. I liked Mac Miller a lot. That's why I like the music, and unfortunately, he passed. So, but yeah, I mean, I like kind of like chill rap, I guess. So anything like that.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I definitely like that, man. And besides music, I mean, outside the cage, what do you typically like to do, man?
I'm big into sports, so I like to watch a lot of sports. I'm a big Bears fan. As we said before you started recording, your hat's a little bit rough for me. But yeah, I'm a big Bears fan, so I watch a lot of the Bears. I love like college wrestling, a big Iowa Hawkeye fan. So, just really into sports. And then I'm really close with my family. So I hang out with my family a lot, my wife, and then my nephews and my niece, and I have 3 brothers and my parents. We're all really close. So hang out with my family as much as I can.
I love that. That's definitely awesome, man. Now, when it comes to your family, I mean, how often do they come there to your fights? They come to every one?
Oh, yeah, my family comes to everything. Definitely a fight family. My dad fought, my older brother fought, my younger brother fights. So, I mean, it's big in my family. I started training when I was 11 years old. So, yeah, everybody knows, everybody's very, like, into this sport. That's how we hang out a lot. Saturday nights watching the UFCs are always fun for me. Like, it's a nice way to hang out with my family. So, yeah, everybody goes.
That's awesome. That's definitely some good stuff, man. Now, when you're watching the fights with your family, I mean, who's maybe some of your favorite fighters you like to watch?
So my favorite fighter of all time is George St. Pierre. I was a huge George St. Pierre fan.
Nice.
Kind of now, I like Islam a lot. I love watching my teammates fight. But yeah, I'm like a big Islam fan. Alex Pereira is awesome. I think everybody likes Alex Pereira. Yeah, a lot of guys. There's a lot of really talented people.
Yeah, no, that's definitely some good stuff, man. Now, when it comes to your fighting career, I mean, when you're all said and done, have you maybe thought of what you'd like to do when you're all done fighting?
A little bit. I mean, after I got cut, honestly, that was the first time I ever had thought about maybe this isn't what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. So that was like the first time I ever had to really think about that. And, I'd love to do something involved with MMA. I help a lot of the amateur guys on my team get fights and things like that. I'm very, connected, especially in the Midwest. My dad does the matchmaking for APFC, which is Anthony Pettis' show, and that's a pretty big show around here. And I would say in the Midwest, that's the biggest show that we have. So I know a lot of people. So maybe like management, that would be something I'd be interested in. But we'll see. I decided to keep going with this, so I'm 100% in. And if that door ever comes, if it comes time to make that decision, I'll make it then.
Nice. I definitely like that. Now, when it comes to management, I mean, what about that maybe excites you to kind of do that after you're all done your fighting career?
I just like helping people. Like, I know how hard this sport is. I know that there's not, like, especially when you're coming up, there's not much money in this, and there's not too many people willing to help you. So I think, like, I'd be willing to help anybody who's, wants to get into this. And, for me, it wouldn't be about the money like it is for a lot of people who are management. Like, for me, it would be about, I genuinely care about these people. Like, I was in the UFC, and there's like amateurs on my team that a lot of people wouldn't care how they do, but I make sure I watch everybody. I try to be invested as much as I can, and I just try to support everybody as good as I can. Try to be a good teammate, and I think things like that would translate well into being like good at that job.
Yeah, no, I definitely think that's pretty awesome. Now, you mentioned your dad is like a matchmaker for like Anthony Pettis' fight league. Does that mean like you wouldn't be able to fight over there, or how would that kind of work if you ended up getting signed over there in the future?
So I fought for there before. I fought there right before my dad started, but I can still fight there. It is kind of awkward, like him finding me a fight. So mainly, they have other people who also help run it, so they kind of will take over if I'm the one fighting. But yeah, I mean, I kind of expect to be on an APFC by the end of this year. So it's
Nice.
something, yeah, it's definitely a possible.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, that would definitely be cool. Now, you mentioned like fighting on that league before. I mean, how did you like fighting for the promotion?
Oh, it was awesome. I felt like that was like my first big opportunity. I mean, I was 5-0 at the time, but fought at like really small shows, just kind of getting, very local MMA scene, exactly what you would expect. Little small shows with a couple, maybe 500 people there. And then APFC was like my first big opportunity. I felt like, to be on Fight Pass. I was the co-main event. And, that was like the biggest crowd I'd ever been in. And it was a good experience. It got me ready for like the big show. I didn't feel as nervous when I fought for the UFC because of that, I think. And, I also was supposed to fight there a second time, but unfortunately that didn't work out. The guy just like didn't show up the day of weigh-ins. But yeah, APFC's, it's a great show.
Yeah, no, it definitely seems like a great show, man. And when you were fighting for the UFC, I mean, was there any cool like behind the scenes stuff that maybe you could share that maybe a fight fan might not know about?
I mean, for me, not really. I mean, I was cutting a lot of weight. Making 35 is hard for me. So I was like really busy with that, just kind of like going through it. Kind of wish I would have taken more time to like enjoy the little things that were happening. But, obviously it was a great experience. It's like to just see everything. It's something I'll always remember.
Yeah, no, it definitely is very cool. Now, when it comes to the UFC, I mean, did you ever end up meeting Dana White and stuff too?
No, I never actually met Dana White or anybody. I mean, I met like Dominic Cruz and Paul Felder, like the commentary team. So that was cool. I mean, I was a big fan of Dominic Cruz actually when I was young, so that was cool to meet him. But yeah, no, I never met Dana or anybody like that.
Wow. Okay. Fair. Now, why is that? How come you didn't end up meeting those guys?
I don't know if most people do, honestly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't ever see him around. The day of the fight, I didn't see him, so I don't know how often people actually are meeting him. I mean, he's a busy guy, so. And I was fighting at the Apex. I was at some small shows. I'm sure if I was like on a big pay-per-view or something, it would have been more likely. But I was at the Apex and kind of smaller shows, I would say.
Fair enough. Okay. So when you were fighting on the Apex, man, what was it like to kind of be able to hear your coaches and maybe even the opposing coaches too when you're in there in the cage?
It was definitely weird. I did not like fighting at the Apex really at all. It was strange. It didn't have the feel of like a normal fight.
Right.
It was just like a weird experience. I mean, it was cool in some ways. But yeah, it was definitely strange. You can't hear everything though. You hear their corner, you hear your corner. It's an interesting experience to say the least.
Definitely seems like it. So could you hear commentary and stuff too when you're in there?
A little bit, not as much, but definitely could hear all the coaches though.
That's crazy. That's definitely pretty interesting. Now, when it comes to like the Apex and stuff, like before you would walk out to the cage and stuff, maybe like the day of, would you like ever walk out to the cage, kind of like get like a feel for how like it was going to be, I guess, before you actually went and took the fight?
Yeah, when I fought Dan Argueta, I had to go take photos for the UFC and stuff. So when I went to go do that, I made sure I went into the cage and kind of felt it out. I always like to do that before I fight, whenever, just kind of visualize everything and feel how it's going to feel in there. And the cage is different. Their cage is much different than the other cages I had fought in. So, it was, I think it's a good idea to always do that, not have your first like time stepping in there be when it's actually happening.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that makes sense. Now, what was maybe different about the other cages that you fought in? Was it just the smaller cage?
Yeah, just smaller and a little more raggedy. Like the UFC's cage they probably spend a good amount of money on it. The cage doesn't have much give. Where like if you go to like local MMA shows, like when my first couple pro fights, the cage was interesting to say that, like it wasn't completely even. Like some sides of the cage you could tell they weren't like meant to be put together.
Wow. Okay. Fair enough. So might be a dumb question, but like when you're in there grappling and stuff and like your back is against the fence, I mean, does that hurt and stuff like when you're getting pressed up against the fence like that?
You don't really feel it because your adrenaline's pumping so much, but definitely when it's done, when the fight's over, you feel it. It doesn't feel great, especially after the fact.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, the cage, it doesn't feel good. No.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough. So when you're all done fighting, I mean, what do you think is maybe like the worst part about it when it comes to your injuries? I mean, like, what do you think is maybe aching the most? Like your legs, your hands? Like, talk us more about that.
I've been super lucky. I mean, I've been trading since I was 11, and I haven't had anything serious, So I've been very blessed with that, with my health. But obviously, I know I'm not gonna age super well. This your body is not meant to do this.
No.
It's not to go get in a cage and go fight somebody, and training every day is definitely rough. So I'm sure everything's going to be hurting by the time I'm in my 40s.
Yeah, no, I definitely hear you there. That makes sense. And, speaking about that, I'm actually a Taekwondo instructor myself. I've been teaching for 6 years now, and I started Taekwondo when I was 5 years old. So it's been 19 years on my journey. So with all the guys I got in my gym, man, what advice do you give to them to keep on coming into the gym and to keep on getting better and better every day?
I would say if you want to get better at this, the key is consistency. You just have to be there. Just be at practice, be present, and have like kind of goals of how you're going to get better. But consistency is key. I mean, it's easy to be consistent for a week. It's easy to be consistent for a month. But can you do that for like years? And when you start being able to do that, that's when you're going to see those big gains. And I think that's the difference between people who end up being good at this and not, is exactly that. Because you're going to see this sport is hard mentally and physically, and people always fall off. So, the people who like stay with it and keep that routine, those are the people who always get good.
Yeah. Yeah. No, definitely, man. That definitely makes sense. Sorry to do this to you, but what was your initial reaction with Cody Parkey, man, with that double doink?
Oh, gosh. Worst sports moment of my life, for sure, I've ever seen.
No, I hear you, man. I couldn't believe it myself even.
And the funny thing was, like, he had a bad year all year, and that team was stacked. That team was stacked.
Yeah.
The defense was great. I mean, the offense, we were relying on Mitch Trubisky, so that was kind of rough. But, the team was great. And Parkey was pretty bad all year. And me and my dad would always joke, watch it come down to him. Like, we have to rely on this guy when it matters. And, of course, that's what it came down to. And he made the first one, then they iced him, called the timeout. And, yeah, it was like we foreshadowed it the whole season.
Ridiculous. Yeah, and he was a former Eagle, too, to make it, like, sting even more. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
no,
don't
I
think
hear
he
you.
ever comes to Chicago anymore.
I don't blame him, man. I wouldn't want to come there either after that one, man.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to do that too. Just I had to ask the hat, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
anyways, man, it's been awesome talking to you, Nick. You're the man. I mean, what's maybe your final message out there for your fans watching this video?
Just thank you everybody who's, watching, everybody who supports me. I always appreciate it. It means a lot to me and can't really do this without support. And so, yeah, just thank you to everybody. I'm ready to go, Saturday. And yeah, follow me on Instagram. My Instagram slicknick135. And thanks, brother. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man, you're the man. And thank you so much for coming on during fight week. And best of luck with your fight. And we're looking forward to having you back in the UFC, my man.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. All right, take care.